swag of a prize fighter. The antithesis of a firefighter. Arsonist, I'm a fire rider. Instant flame like a firelighter. So special with shows, I live out my flows. Can't walk in my shoes, can't purchase my clothes. Ice in my veins, but I never froze. Picture perfect, but I never pose. As a juvenile, I knew I bounced back. Got rated, had a plan to get my ounce back. Use cheese as bait, that's a mousetrap. Let me to the right person to pounce at. They selling dreams, I'm pulling receipts. Full force, we can't be beat. Got a dirty mouth, but the flow so neat. Keep your 2 cents, talk is cheap.
Next topic we're going to discuss on Boxing Bros is Emanuel Navarrete's comeback win over Liam Wilson. And is that tainted by controversy? So what we'll do is we'll show you a clip of the actual fight, which will show Liam Wilson dropping Navarrete twice, and then Navarrete coming back to stop Liam Wilson in the 9th round. But there was some controversy about Navarrete being allowed to continue and given additional time after one of those knockdowns, after the first knockdown. But what we'll do is we're going to show you a clip that shows all the knockdowns, including the stoppage, and then we'll break down the actual time that Navarrete was given to recover. So here's a look at let me turn this sound off. So the purple trunks is Navarrete and the blue and white trunks is Wilson. As you can see, Wilson's landing some punches. Wilson lands a right hand on the side of the head. He lands another right hand on the side of the head. And as you see, when Navarrete's glove was on the canvas, Liam Wilson landed another right hand. And so here you see Liam Wilson land a right hook. He lands another right hook that has Navarrete hurt. He pulled him down on that one, so it doesn't count as a knockdown. And here you see straight right hand from Navarrete that dropped Liam Wilson. And this is the 9th round. Yeah, he was just against the ropes, shelling up, and the referee jumped in. And some people have issues with that stoppage.
Yeah, hold on. Can you rewind it a little bit?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
why did he stop it? I'm like, he wasn't. It's not like it was like defenses or nothing. He was still like trying to.
So that's what happened moments before the stoppage.
And then he. Nah, that referee just looking to close, man. That dude wanted to go home. You know what I'm saying?
All right. So, I mean, a lot of people take issue with that stoppage, but here's another thing that people took issue with. All right. Let me pull this up real quick. All right, hold on. I think I saw it rolling. Let me pause this. So, when Liam Wilson knocked down Navarrete, he was given what some people feel like was too much time to recover. And here it is. We'll play it. And there's actually a counter on this.
Has a big opportunity. Wilson scores the shocking knockdown here in round 4.
As you can see, he's up on time. He's against the ropes. And the clock's currently at 15 seconds that he's been away. The referee picks up his mouthpiece, pulls him to the side, puts his mouthpiece back in. He's adjusting his mouthpiece.
I didn't even rinse it out.
He didn't wash it
I
off.
didn't rinse it up.
No, he always rinses it
So
off.
that's 27 seconds that it took between him hitting the ground and the referee resuming the fight. And so we'll just watch it again. And you take a look. There he is. And I thought at one point he just looked like he wasn't fit. He spits his mouthpiece out with 10 seconds left. And he looked back and he spit his mouthpiece out. It looks like someone told him to do it. The ref puts his mouthpiece in. Look at his legs right now. He doesn't look. And then the referee lets it continue. So that's fueling some of the controversy. One was Navarrete was given too much time to recover after Wilson dropped him. And the other is they're arguing they stopped the fight too prematurely when Wilson was hurt, but they gave Navarrete so much time to recover when he was hurt. So this is the argument, and people are saying like the win pretty much seemed like it was fixed, and the fix was in. I'm gonna turn over to you, Trill Dollar Bill. What's your reaction to that?
Tough fight. Liam Wilson put up a tough fight. Trained by Barry Hunter, right?
I believe so. I'm not sure. I know he's from Australia.
He's from Australia, but left home to come here to train.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
Shows a lot about his character.
You know, Barry don't get a lot of camera time. You know, I wasn't paying attention to this.
Shows the type of heart and dedication that this kid had. And there was no way that he felt like he thought that he was being overlooked. A lot of people thought that this was going to be a breeze for Emanuel, that he was going to run through him, you know? And the kid was like, no, I'm going to let you know I'm here to fight. And fight he did. So he shouldn't hold his head down, you know? Now, as far as to Emanuel Navarrete's, the long count. It was a long count. Right? It was a long count, but it wasn't the ref's fault. When it became the ref's fault is when he seen him spit out his mouthpiece. When he spit out his mouthpiece, me personally, I would have took a point for that because it was blatant. But then I would have still gave him more time. The ref didn't do that. He didn't even wash off the mouthpiece. He threw it, spit it right back in his mouth, and he sent him back on. So it's like, where does it, you know? Because you can't disqualify him for that, you know? But you could have took a point away, you know, but would have gave more time. Because you're going to have to take it to one. You know what I'm saying? So I think, you know, the ref, he was damn if he don't, damn if he do situation again. And he didn't allow more time by going to the corner with the mouthpiece and saying, wash this off. You know what I'm saying? He just stuck it right in his mouth and was like, let's go. You know? He was up at the standing 8. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, the fight continued. But now when it comes to the stoppage, I thought it was a fair stoppage. I thought it was an okay stoppage. That's the commissioner. I'm okay with that stoppage, especially when he was already rocked and why he went into retreat mode when he turned his back and ran away from him. And then he showed up and then started taking punches. I thought the ref did what he was supposed to do. And then even after the end, the kid didn't protest. He didn't throw his hands up. He put so... which he shouldn't have, because he did put on. I know he's probably sad that he, you know, but you know, he fought. He showed a lot. I want to see him again. So yeah, that's how I feel about that. Emanuel Navarrete, yeah, it was a little, you know, the veterans do that. You know what I'm saying? They spit the mouthpiece. Shout out to the great Diego Corrales, who gave us one of the best comebacks in history of boxing. If Diego Corrales never took his mouthpiece out his mouth and Goosen went over there and was able to wash that off and tell him, now you got better get inside on him now, we would have never had that great comeback that we had. You know, there's little tricks of boxing that veterans do, you know what I'm saying, to get a little time, you know? And look, he did it, you know, it happens. And, you know, and I'm okay with the stoppage.
Yeah, I also want to add that was Navarrete getting the title in his 3rd weight class, so it was a big deal for him and his supporters. G, what's your reaction?
Yeah, I'm gonna be conspiracy G real quick. I feel like there is a controversy now with what Navarrete did with the mouthpiece. I'm actually not even mad at that, you know. And to be honest with you, I don't agree with Trill on this. I wouldn't take a point. I would warn him though. Try that one more time, you're gonna lose a point. So I wasn't mad at the time, like the what was it, 15 seconds or whatever.
No, 27 seconds.
27. But that seems typical. It seems like you see this a lot in boxing. So I would give that a pass. I do have an issue, though, with how he called that fight. It seemed like Liam, he just got hit. And ref just came in like, all right, yo, it's done. And I'm like, bruh, he all he did was just guard up. At least say like, hey, give me something, do something. Ref didn't say anything. It was like he got hit over here, came over here, he ducked a little bit, ref jumped in, was like, it's done. That's what I didn't like, because it's like I could see the controversy where it's like you're giving Emanuel, like, it looked like you're giving him some chances now, but you didn't give the same chance to Liam. I didn't like how that looked, right? The optics looks funny. And, this is boxing. Let's just be real. Boxing, there's a lot of gambling, there's a lot of controversy. So it's like, who knows? The powers that be are like, yo, he can't lose like that. You know what I'm saying? I needed to go to round, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? Like, dudes be doing whatever just to make some money. So, I don't have no evidence. This is just, I'm just conspiracying right now. But it looks funny money. So, I just like to believe. And think about it like this. Look at just the segment right before. Alicia Bumgarner's fight. That French girl did worse than what Liam did. And that referee allowed that French girl to keep going. Why didn't the referee allow Liam to keep going? You see what I'm saying? It's like, I understand, like, boxing's subjective, but it's like, come on, there has to be a standard that all referees go by. Like, I just, to me, that's where the corruption is at. It's like, and I don't want to sound like Teddy Atlas or nothing, but it's not consistent. The sport's not consistent. And that's the problem with the sport. Like, one ref will allow something, the other ref won't, but it's like, yo, they're both getting punched in the face. You know what I mean? So it's like, to me, there should be clear rules. If a fighter can still defend themselves, protect themselves, if they can still move away, then they should allow it to keep going. But if a fighter look like they're trying to retreat, running away because they're getting hurt, they can't defend themselves, then call the fight. Like stuff like that. Some people do one way, some do another. I don't know. I don't like the inconsistencies of boxing. So I kind of feel like the referees, they need to have like a convention or something. All y'all referees need to sit down and just do training drills all together. Like, if a fighter does this, call that. Or if this happens, do this. Give them a warning for this. Lose a point for this. But this is up to the referee's discretion. It's getting kind of sloppy, man. And I don't blame Emanuel at all for the veteran tricks. I would do the very same thing. I thought it was kind of weird. If I'm intentionally dropping my mouthpiece, I'm gonna look at the ref like, nah, bro, somebody go rinse that for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, rinse that for me. Even if, forget germs, I may just need some more time to breathe. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, I'm going to use every advantage in the book. I'd rather have you say, yo, stop doing that or you're going to lose a point. Or warn me, because if you don't warn me, I'm cheating. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know how to sound right, but, like, hey, give me an inch, I'm going to take a mile. You know what I mean? And so I'm not mad at Emanuel for that. But if you're going to do one, like, if you're going to provide some wiggle room for one fighter, do the same thing for the other fighter, man. It's only fair, like, I just feel like, kind of like even in football, they kind of do it. The referees, sometimes they do a bad call on one side, so they go like, all right, well, we're gonna fix it on the other side. It's only right. You know what I'm saying? Like, referees should do the same thing in boxing. You give one guy a chance, give the other guy a chance. You know what I mean? And not to mention, if you do it for champion, like, was Liam a champion or no?
Yes.
He was. See what I'm saying? This is crazy. So I don't know. I just don't like how it's not consistent. That's all.
All right, cool. You talk about uniformity, right? And I think that's what we all really want, but that's not really what we get. Even if you look at basketball, right? A few days ago, LeBron James was playing against the Boston Celtics. He drove to the rim. He got hacked on the arm, and they didn't call it. And if they would have called it, LeBron James would have been at the free throw line shooting 2 free throws with a chance to win the game. Twitter went crazy, hashtag rigged. Everyone was upset. The referees union even came out and gave an apology stating that the foul should have been called and they're working to become better. So uniformity across even basketball, and you pointed out in football, doesn't really exist. That's because the moments are subjective. And they're going to be different people in the ring, and people are going to have different make different determinations about what it was they just saw, how it should be officiated. But you know, in boxing, I saw Roy Jones Jr., one of the most talented fighters ever, certainly one of the most physically gifted, if not the most physically gifted fighter ever, take his first L because he dropped Montel Griffin, and then he punched Montel Griffin when he was on the ground. And that led to Roy Jones being disqualified and losing his O. That was Roy Jones' first L. They used to introduce him as, you know, his record with 1 L, and we all felt like, man, that shouldn't be there. Roy should be undefeated. That's what a lot of us felt. I watched Arthur Abraham hit Andre Dirrell. I watched Arthur Abraham hit Andre Dirrell when he was down on the ground and him fall out and get disqualified for it during the Super 6 tournament. So I think where you got to go to is what happened first. And what people who are calling this a controversy are overlooking was the fact that Liam Smith should have been disqualified if we're going to talk about uniformity. Here is when he's down and he holds him in the back of the head and he takes a shot. Take a look. How do we know that shot isn't what caused the most damage? He's literally slumped the form. He holds him in the back of the head and he punches him clean in the face. That's illegal. So
that was difficult though, because from the angle, because from Liam's angle, he can't even see that homeboy's.
Well, Roy Jones wasn't given that benefit of the doubt. Arthur Abraham wasn't given that benefit of the doubt. What's a fact is, and I see the ref looking. So it's
G.
I'm just saying.
Hey, my man, look back. He looked down and swiped.
Yeah. And
he
the ref,
seen him.
look at what
He
the ref
looked
is.
down and swiped him.
Look at the ref. Look at the ref. Hold on. Look at the ref. Look at the ref. Look
I
at
didn't
Liam.
even notice that the first time. But like, look, he
Look
looked at him.
Look at him. Watch him. Watch him. The ref is right in position to see that.
You got that. You got that.
So all this controversy, the person who's really the victim is Emanuel Navarrete, ironically. Because he needed to spit out his mouthpiece because he was hit illegally. And the referee didn't do what he was supposed to do, which was stop it. Yeah, either take points or disqualify. You're right, Trill. He's either got to take points or disqualify. And give Navarrete 5 minutes to recover and see if he can continue. So the most egregious foul happened to Navarrete and not Liam Wilson. But somehow people go to the fact that he was given 27 seconds. He should have been given 5 or more. But he's such a warrior, you know, they tell him, hey, we see you hurt, cuz spit out that mouthpiece. He spits out the mouthpiece. Take a point from him, but don't take a point for Liam from hitting him when he was down. We all know he was on his way down. His glove was on the canvas. Liam doesn't just hit him by accident, G. He holds him on the back of the head.
Yeah, I know.
And he locks him.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Come on now.
I didn't notice that the first time.
I didn't see that first. And then
Come on now.
Damn, that's crazy.
What are we talking about? So the ref completely botches that. And you're right, G. When you botch something, you make it up later. So when Navarrete hurt him and he went up against the ropes and he was shelling up, the ref said, let me give a makeup call. And no, so I'm joking. But the point is, wasn't the referee's finest hour, was it? No, it wasn't. He missed the foul. And even if he missed the foul and he thought like it was clean, the way he handled the mouthpiece situation would have been bad and poor. Because Trill's right. You got to take a point away. You got to take a point away to deter it from happening. And you're right, G. You could give him a stern warning.
And because the reason why I said a point could have been, even though I would have been iffy because it would still take more time. But the reason why I said a point because it was so blatant. It wasn't while he was on the floor. It was he literally was standing up and spit it out.
Yep.
it was that blatant.
And he took it back out. If you watch
Yeah.
it, when he put it in his mouth, he takes it back out and then backs up and does. So he's definitely trying to stall for time. But for me,
But I didn't see that. But now, after seeing that, I'm like, wow, it gives you a different perspective. You know what I'm saying? And maybe the ref was like, just caught up in the moment.
Yeah. And maybe the ref is making a decision like, okay, I know that was a foul. I don't want to end this fight with a DQ this early. So I'm going to give him enough time to recover and really fight. So maybe he makes that decision on the fly. But what I'm saying is, just getting back to the mouthpiece point, say it wasn't a foul beforehand, and he's just spitting out his mouthpiece to get more time. I feel like you got to take the point, because now you got to give him more time, and that negatively impacts Liam Wilson's ability to finish the fight. So you got to give him a 10-8 round or a 10-7 round at that point, because it was already 10-8. You got to give him 10-7 round, because he probably could have ended the fight, and you don't know what's going to happen later on. And as you see later on, it ended up becoming irrelevant anyway, because he ended up stopping Liam Wilson. But I just think it's amazing to me what people on Twitter see, what people see. And this is the actual proof of bias. Because I came I watched the fight. I went on Twitter and I automatically saw people upset with the long count and saying that Liam Wilson got robbed. He's lucky he was allowed to continue, because Arthur Abraham wasn't. Roy Jones, an all-time great, wasn't. So stop this madness, man. That victory wasn't tainted. Emanuel Navarrete won. Deal with it. Liam Wilson had all the advantages. He got to hit him while he was down, and then 27 seconds later, he still got to try to finish him off, and he couldn't do it. Tough break.
Let us know how you feel in the comment section. Please like and subscribe. Check us out on Instagram and Twitter. And please check out our podcast on all major streaming services. You rock with the boxing, bro.